What's going on, everybody? It's Sasha, your market expert. I hope you all are doing well. So I had originally planned to do a completely different video this week. I wanted to show you guys some of my favorite neighborhoods in Indian Trail, which I will be doing the next week. So make sure you stay tuned to that. But unfortunately, time and gas is not on my side today. If you haven't watched the news, North Carolina and a couple of other states are having a gas shortage. So what did all the news channels and outlets do? They said we're having a gas shortage, don't panic. What did everybody do? They panicked. There was lines over a mile long to get gas. People were standing in line for 2-3 hours to get gas. And then of course you had the amazing, wonderful people that brought a whole bunch of gas containers and decided to fill up 5 or 6, not leaving any gas for anybody else. So today I'm gonna kind of show you guys what my Thursday is looking like, and we're gonna talk about virtual tours, and we're also gonna talk about final walkthrough before your home closes. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. As always, any questions, call, text, or email me anytime. Feel free to leave a comment down below as well. And let's get started. All right, so virtual tours. Jeff and Andrea, hi. We just got done doing a virtual tour for their home right here, which is going to be completed, in the next month or so. They're actually going to be moving down here from Arizona. So, 90+% of the people I work with and help relocate down here, they're moving from other cities, states, and different countries. So I work with a lot of people relocating, and one of the things that I do are virtual tours. And I'm not talking about having a bunch of pictures and it just being a slideshow with boring elevator music. I'm talking about doing, a live tour, FaceTime, Google Duo, a Zoom meeting, and walking you through, the actual house. If it's a new construction, walking through, kind of the phases, helping you see what the house is looking like, how everything is turning out. And if it's somebody shopping for a house, which, believe it or not, before 2020, I couldn't even picture, buying a house, buying a car offline, without test driving it and without seeing it. And when 2020 started, within the last year, I've helped 6 people buy a home here in the Charlotte and some of the surrounding areas 100% virtually. Some of them, they signed, we did a virtual tour in the beginning. We wrote an offer, got the offer accepted. Some of them came to visit during inspection time within the next 1 or 2 weeks, looked at the neighborhood, looked at the house, see if they liked everything. And then others did literally everything 100% virtually, to the point where they closed on the house, they owned the house. I held on to the keys, or I mailed them the keys to their new home. And the first time them ever seeing it was with me when they come down to visit, if I pick them up from the airport or whatever the case is. So nowadays, guys, this is not uncommon. I do a lot of virtual tours, but if you're somebody that wants to buy something virtually while you're living in California, Texas, Florida, and you want to buy something up here, you just need to be really certain. And I always tell people, if you have the opportunity, come up here and visit. It's nice to see some houses while you're here, but the most important thing is the areas. Once you narrow down the areas, when houses pop up, you know what you're getting into beforehand. So make sure you keep that in mind. And you just need to be someone that's committed if you're going to be buying something virtually. If you're able to work from home, come down to Charlotte, rent like a longer term Airbnb for a month or 2, even an extended stay hotel, or if you want to rent for 6 months and then start looking, that's going to be awesome too. But it all depends on the person and kind of what your end goal is, how quick you want to move down here, and what your situation is. So that's my little not rant, but educating you on kind of these virtual tours, actual virtual tours, not the boring elevator music ones. And now we're going to be heading to Indian Trail for a final walkthrough for a closing that we have today. All right, so we're here at Andre and his wife's house right now, and actually they live in Colorado, and we basically did his entire house almost 100% virtually. So we had just honestly started the home buying process. I started sending them some houses. They sent me this home. They said, hey, we really like this home. And of course, you know, once they sent me that, I happened to be out of town, you know, so I reached out to another agent that works at my office. I said, hey, please, can you do a virtual tour? But I need you to be brutally and extremely honest, and everything and anything that is a defect on the house, I need you to point out so they know absolutely everything about the house, neighborhood, and neighbors. If you see anything that stands out, you know, let them know. So we submitted an offer, got everything accepted, and within, you know, 3 days, Andre actually flew down here from Colorado, took a look at the house. He loved it. It was exactly, you know, the representation that the pictures had. Loved the neighborhood. So everything's, you know, going well. And he's actually in Colorado right now, and I'm doing the final walkthrough because, like I mentioned earlier, we're closing on this house today. So for those of you that don't know, closing on a house, I guess it's a, you know, I guess it's a term, but it's the day that you sign all the paperwork, and when, you know, the title or deed of the home gets transferred in your name and you officially become the owner. So what you do is, you know, a final walkthrough on the property. The reason you do that is you just want to make sure that the house is in the same condition and or better, you know, than when you got your offer accepted. So it's important because if there's somebody living in the house, you know, they're gonna have they're gonna have you know, moving trucks, movers, and things like that. And you know, if you take a fridge and bang it against the wall, you can mess up the drywall. You know, obviously I'm a worst case scenario guy, which is a, you know, a good thing and a bad thing. But I come here, you know, make sure that there's no branches that fell on the house, no fire started, God forbid, or anything like that before, you know, the ownership is officially transferred. Now, obviously, if you're somewhere living out of state and you're not able to be here for that, I do that the day before closing, and I also do it the morning of closing. It's just what I like to do. You can never be too certain. So that's something that I personally do, but that is one reason why a final walkthrough is important. You just want to make sure what you're buying is what you initially bought, and nothing has, you know, changed with the house at all. So guys, I hope I gave you a good rundown a little bit on, you know, on virtual showings and or, you know, kind of walk through on these houses. If you ever have any questions, call, text, or email me anytime. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. Feel free to leave me a comment as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for this virtual final walkthrough. Take care, bye.